Oh,
Hi,
there we go.
James. How are you?
Hi, I'm
Yeah.
great, Keith.
Hi. It's
Thanks,
a
thanks for
good
asking me.
good afternoon, right, to you.
Yeah, so in Switzerland, it's 4 p.m. local
Okay.
time here. The sun
Oh,
is out. It's about
weather
20
is
degrees.
fine. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, so of course it's the terrible, the worst weather to be stuck inside because it's so nice outside. But
Okay. Yeah. Today's
there's
topic
not a
is
lot of
goal setting. Okay. So we need to seek for expert advice like you. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because coronavirus outbreak and is suffer a lot of business and economy.
Yeah.
And you were from British, right? So even
Yes.
though the prime minister has to go to the intensive care unit, so I don't know what's happening in Europe. So maybe can you share a little bit about
So,
the
okay.
situation right
Yeah.
now? Yeah.
So at the moment, Europe is the hotspot. It's where things are happening, and you've probably heard of Italy. Italy is that's where
Yeah.
the worst of the virus is at the moment, and in Spain as well. Spain,
Okay.
I think, has just overtaken Italy in terms of deaths from coronavirus. Unfortunately, I'm in Switzerland, so a little landlocked country and surrounded by France, Italy, Germany,
Yeah. Yeah. And the border
and
is
in
closed. Is it the border?
yeah, so the borders are
Okay.
closed. You can come in and out of Switzerland if you work in Switzerland or live in Switzerland, but really, apart from that, you can't transit around. And here, whilst the numbers are low, if you look at there's a website called worldometers.com, which shows all the coronavirus. And if you look at per million head of population, Switzerland is quite high because there's only about 8 million people in Switzerland. Um, but here it's not too bad. I say in Italy it's bad, Spain it's bad, and of course in the UK you've probably heard that Boris Johnson is in intensive
Yeah.
care.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I've been watching the news this afternoon, and he's not had to receive any ventilation,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
intubation. So that he's not received any; he's just received oxygen, and he's been 10 days into coronavirus, and so it was a shock last night.
Yeah.
It was about
Yeah.
10. It
Yeah.
was
I
about ten
also
o'clock
shocked
local
about that.
time. Yeah, but from what everybody's saying, we'll just have to wait and see. So what's interesting is that politics has kind of been put to one
Yeah.
side
Yeah.
today, and everybody is wishing the prime minister well. So that is quite a positive thing.
Okay. Yeah.
But also in terms of deaths, I think today in the UK it's gone over 6,000
Wow. Wow.
deaths from
Yeah.
coronavirus,
I see.
and 50 over 50,000 people have
Yeah.
been
Yeah.
tested
Too
positive.
bad.
But
Yeah.
yeah, so
Yeah.
it's bad, and we just have to do as we're asked to do, really.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for sharing. And in Hong Kong, it's also around 40, 50 new cases every day.
Yeah.
But luckily that we don't have any people die. Yeah. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching for this live. So I'm with James Bodman, and maybe I will just try to introduce you, right? Because
Okay.
I think last time I have a lot of posts, right? And then you interact with me and message, just comment something like that.
All right.
And then I was like, hey, he's an interesting person. And I looked at your background, and you obviously offering like 30 minutes free
Yes.
consultation, which is great because this is exactly what I'm doing when I started the LinkedIn thing in December 2019. And that's like,
Good.
we can work together as some synergies, and then I can learn
Yeah.
from you. So that's why I invite you to become the guest here. Yeah. And James is,
Yeah. Thanks.
yeah, more than 30 years experience. So guys, please, if you have any questions, leave your comments below, and then we will get back to you or we'll answer it. And so we want to help you and setting the goals. And then after the virus gone away and bounce back, and then you can have a better future, right? So that is
Yeah.
our aim. Yeah. So James, maybe you can also introduce yourself. Right? You can also let the audience
Um,
know more about you.
okay. So I'm James. I'm English. I currently live in Switzerland. I started my career straight from university in retail management, and I've spent 19 years working my way up and finished my career as a director of stores. And during that period, I developed a passion for helping people, mentoring, supporting, training, and development. And I set myself a goal um, in the middle of my management career to work in the field of training. And I was blocked in the company that I worked in. It wasn't going to happen. So I decided that my opportunities had to be outside of that business. So I sat down, thought about what I wanted to do, and set myself some goals. So that involved thinking about the kind of place I wanted to work in, what I wanted to do, how I wanted to get there. And I was fortunate, or through planning, I was able to go and work in education. So I worked in education management, so managing people delivering learning and developing national policy and supporting all sorts of initiatives around helping people get back into work and to develop people's skills in work. And then went to help young people set up businesses at an enterprise academy. And from there decided, actually, do you know, I could work for myself. So I kind of sat and thought, what do I want to do? Training development. So I then planned to set up my own little company, supporting businesses, teams, and individuals. And then my partner got transferred to Paris. So I was like, oh, it's an opportunity. But realizing there probably wasn't a great deal of demand for somebody who didn't speak French to deliver leadership training in France. I then thought, what else am I going to do to make sure that I continue to work and to develop others? So I took a TEFL qualification, so the ability to teach English in a foreign language. And so I've done quite a lot of that over the last few years, but I also took the opportunity to meet people as well. So part of my plan was to network and to develop, like we are now, to develop relationships with people. And I was able to develop a relationship with somebody who then recommended me to work with an online leadership training company. And so if you look at my bio, you'll see I've worked with Cross Knowledge for 7 years. And Cross Knowledge are one of the leaders in e-learning platforms. And so I've done lots of stuff around helping people set goals, but helping people through leadership development programs, which kind of leads us to where we are today.
Yeah.
Really. So my whole career for the last 15, 20 years has been about supporting other people. And with coronavirus, you know, my own work has been put to one side because, of course, lots of businesses are now on lockdown. So I thought, what can I do to help people? And one of the things that we can do is really sit and think about what we want to do. Because how many times in your life are you going to get whole days, weeks where you don't have a job to go to, where you have no
stay home. Stay home, right?
You know, whatever you need to do. But how many times in your life do you get that opportunity to sit down and think, do you know what? Do I really like my job? Because you might find that when this is all over, you really don't want to go back to the job that you've been doing. But more importantly, you might even not think today, well, what am I doing? I get up, I'm sitting on the sofa, I'm watching telly, I can't exercise. So to make sure that we don't lose ourselves in this period, which can be very depressing and very confining, restrictive, we can't go out, it's a good opportunity to just sit down and make ourselves some little goals for those days, even if it's, you know, get up, walk the dog, do an hour's exercise, do some teaching with the children, learn how to bake a cake. And there are lots of people out there who are saying, oh, you've got to take this opportunity and learn something while you're off.
Yeah.
You don't have to. It's your life. Don't feel obliged to do anything. But if you want to make a change, you've got to push yourself out of the comfort zone that you're in. And now, strangely, is a good time to do that because you've got time to sit down, get pen and paper out, and actually think, what is it that I really want to do? And you might, you know, there might be something in your life that you've always wanted to do. It might be climb K2, or it might be learn how to scuba dive, or it might be become the managing director of, I don't know, Rolex or something. Yeah. But if you don't set that goal, visualize what you want to do and make a plan of action to get there, it's never going to happen. You're going to be sat on your sofa drinking tea. Really. And so I thought it's an opportunity to talk to people and give them an opportunity to speak to me, to speak to somebody they don't know, So I've been giving these 30-minute free
Okay.
coaching consultations to people.
Yeah.
And I had a few interesting conversations so far.
So how many people booked it, and how many people you helped?
So I spoke to half a dozen people last week. After I've had a conversation with you, I'm actually speaking to a guy from Canada this afternoon.
Mhm.
Yesterday, I was speaking to an American. I've had a couple of conversations with people in Australia, a couple more Americans, a couple more Europeans. It's really interesting that, you know, there are people out there going, yeah, you know what, I'm not happy really with my life and I need to make some change, but they've no idea how to start doing that. And so kind of sitting down and having somebody help you think about how you set a goal. You know, what is a goal? Because we've all heard of, I think most of us have heard of SMART, specific.
Goal, But
yeah, exactly.
Do you just teach SMART goals, or you also teach some other skills?
Well, first of all, I think if you've got a goal in life, you need to visualize that goal. Okay. So what I say to people is start from the end point. So what is your goal? Where do you see yourself being? Okay. So say you want to be the sales director for Rolex, living and working in Switzerland, and you want to be the sales director for Rolex, living and working in Switzerland in 3 years' time. Okay, well, that's about specific. Okay, so first of all, you know that's where you want to be. But from that, how are you going to get there? You know, because if you don't know where you're going, how do you know where to, you know, how do you know where to plan your journey? Okay. So you then have to kind of say, well, what's going to be the measure of success? How will I know I've got where I want to be? And it might be your fancy corner office, it might be the big car, it might be the job title and the huge salary.
Yeah, more money.
Yeah, exactly. But these are the things that you have to measure your success by. So you need some sort of measurement. You know, how are you going to actually get there? Then is it actually achievable?
Yeah, you have to measure these and make sure that you stick to the plan. That's the hardest thing, right?
Well, put it this way: that if you are you want to be the sales director for a company like Rolex, working in Switzerland, well, first of all, do you know anything about sales? Have you ever worked in a sales role? Yeah, or are you an administrator, for instance? So you've got to make sure, first of all, is that actually can I achieve that in my time frame with my skill set? Because if I can't, it's pointless. It's absolutely pointless. You know, I might as well say I want to be president of the United States. No
yeah, me too. Everyone.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, exactly. And then is it realistic for you? You know, is it actually? Do you really want to be the sales director of Rolex in Switzerland, or you know, within your ability? Yeah, things like family commitments, for instance. You know, can you just up your family and move to Switzerland to get this dream role? Is that even possible? Will they allow you to go to Switzerland?
The visa issues and also.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to think. So is it? You know, my goal is to be this. Is it a realistic goal? Because again, you're just placing an obstacle in your way that's going to stop you achieving. And then, of course, there's got to be a time limit. So can you want to do the job in 5 years? Is it possible to do the job in 5 years? Yeah, if you've got the talent, the skills, if you're in the right place, if it's only one position above you, yes. But if you live in Australia and you're a sheep farmer, you might have, you know, you're going to need of course, it's possible, but you're going to need a more realistic plan to get there. So in actual fact, SMART goals are probably one of the most sensible things out there. And the idea of telling yourself, so an affirmation is similar to a goal in that it's saying in 5 years' time, I will be the sales director for Rolex. I'll be sitting in my corner office. I'll have a huge BMW on it, whatever you're going to be.
A huge team, okay.
yeah, exactly. I'm going to have 50 people working for me. That's your affirmation, something you should say to yourself regularly. You know, keep it on your fridge, have it in your head, and you'll find actually that the more you follow your affirmations and you actually think logically about what it is that you want, the more likely you're going to get there. And that's the thing. So yes, there are other ways of making decisions. There's Cartesian logic and all sorts of things, but SMART goals are actually simple and effective.
Yeah. Yeah,
And I
yeah,
think
that makes sense. Yeah,
yeah,
and
yeah.
yeah, and I guess what you mentioned about, stick with the plan is like you motivate yourself, and just like me, maybe I have a goals, and then I will put it in my wallet, or sometimes when you achieve
Yeah,
something, then do celebration. Then
exactly. Baby
you
steps.
enjoy that. Yeah, enjoy the process.
Yeah, and this is part of the problem that sometimes people set themselves goals that are enormous, huge, big. Sales director, fantastic, but you need to celebrate the small wins to get there. And if you find yourself constantly slipping, well, I'll never be sales director if I don't get a sales job, if I don't have the sales skills. So you have to break your goals down into small, tiny little chunks. And it's fine to have the vision. You need to have the vision, but by setting goals, it allows you to break those steps down into little baby steps that help you work towards achieving your goal.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
if you don't do that, it's probably not going to work.
Yeah, I understand. But I don't, yeah, if I'm working right now or stay at home, then I do plenty of time to do the goal
Yeah.
settings. But how about if I was suddenly, I don't know, unemployed, or terminated, or, something changed? I lost my family, whatever, right? So what can you do immediately? Then you can set another goals or do anything?
Well, you have to look, don't you? I think it's very relevant when you think about it today that the invention is born out of necessity. So you think at the moment, everybody's not working because of coronavirus. And so we're having to change the way that we're doing things. So all of a sudden, people who hated the idea of teleconferencing, working from home, now think
They
they've
have to.
embraced it and
Yeah,
they have to do
yeah,
it. So if you find yourself in that position where you've got no job, you've got two choices. You can either sit and wallow in self-pity and be unhappy. And of course, for a period of time, you have to go through that. You have to mourn the loss of the job. Okay, you can't just be positive all the time. It's impossible. But once you're through that idea of I don't have any job, I'm not sure what I'm going to do, you then need to sit and think, well, what do I actually want to do? And one of the simplest things to do is just get a pen and paper and just write down ideas, what I would like to do, what I want to do, what I want. And it could be anything, blue sky thinking, whatever you want. And then, just put it down, go have a cup of tea, go out, take the dogs for a walk, go and think about it. Let it sit with you for a few days, or an hour, or whatever, and then come back to it and say, well, is that a good idea? Is that not a good idea? And you have to generate your own change. You can't let other people. It's impossible if somebody says you should do this, you should do that, you should do this.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. That's very, very interesting. But the point is, you want to do something.
Yeah.
And it's, that we have to obviously balance the thing between needs. So I need to earn money, I need to pay my rent, I need to feed my family. And this is what a lot of people are stuck with at the moment, and that they're not making time for self-development. So for instance, I was speaking to a guy last week, and he's a dad and he looks after the kids and he takes everybody out and he makes sure there's food on the table. But I said, well, what about actually making time to sit and plan what you want to do? Said, well, I get to sit in my armchair and watch TV. Oh, well, that's great, but you're not moving forward. And that's the problem, that you have to try and carve out some time for yourself to be able to sit and think, what do I actually want to do? What can I do to develop myself and to move myself forward and to try and achieve the goals in life that I set out to achieve?
Yeah, that's very important.
And now is a perfect opportunity, because all of a sudden you've got the equivalent of a working day for a lot of people sat at home. And you can't carve out time.
And I do have a lot of friends. They are very successful. They all set their career goals and financial goals and everything. Just like they also invite me every like January 1st. Okay, I have to go to watch the sunrise. Okay, and then use a pen and
Oh,
paper to write down every year's what's the goal, and then review it in December, Christmas time, and they very very successful.
that's great. That's that's brilliant. And whatever you can do to help you set a goal is perfect, and not to feel, because sometimes I think we feel we're obliged to do things, and this is not about being obliged. This is about what you want. Yeah, not everybody else. Your family have got other priorities. And yeah, I love that idea. New Year's Eve, sitting there with a pen of this is what I want to achieve for the next year. But that's only part of it. The setting the goal. That's the easy part in some respects. That's the fun part.
But still,
The
some
hard
people
part,
don't do that. Yeah, still lazy
exactly.
and then,
Yeah, it's remember. It's also all of a sudden you get to January the 5th and you go, what was I going to do on January the 1st? And you forgot. And so it's about setting in place a plan to achieve that goal. And there are lots of planning tools that you can do, but the simplest one is setting a smart goal, and just thinking along the lines of how can I make it specific to meet my needs. What's the measure? How will I know I've got there? Can I actually achieve it? Is it realistic? Yeah. And of course, what's the time frame that I'm going to achieve it in, and then breaking all those down into smaller steps. And if you can do that, and you can do it, so that's most people who have been successful in life will tell you that they set themselves very clear goals and very clear targets, and they're very determined, and they've made sure that they've given time each day or week or month to be able to move towards achieving that goal, which is why I think it's a great idea to give people
it's a great idea and great timing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
The widest thing will pass, right?
Yeah, exactly. And I think if I can do things to help people that way, then great, and why not just take the opportunity to speak to somebody for 30 minutes for free? Because, it's.
But what are the consultations or what are the advice that you could give to other people? I just look at your website. You can also teach people how to sleep well, right? It's interesting. So what are the services you provide?
Well, so I'm running a couple of open courses at the moment. So I am actually running a course about setting goals, so we can go into the nuts and bolts about what we need to do and how we need to build an emotion, and how we need to make it personal and present tense and positive, for instance. So that's an hour-long workshop that I'm doing. It's a paid one, but it's a low-cost one. And I've got another workshop that I thought would be very useful for now, and it's all about your sleep patterns, because again, while people are not at work, there's a temptation to kind of stay up late, watch films, stay in bed late in the morning, to break, because most people have a routine, and we get up at 6 o'clock. We get the kids up, we get them to school, we go to work. At lunch, you have lunch at 1 o'clock. So your life is actually quite regimented. There's a routine to it. But now there's a temptation, people going, well, I don't have to go to work, so I'll stay up till 2 and I'll watch it. And actually what you're doing is you're ruining your sleep patterns. And doing that has a tremendous effect on your productivity. So I've just put together a little thing about understanding your circadian rhythm, which is your natural body rhythm, and how you can maintain your sleep patterns. So again, that's another online activity that I'm doing, but I also do some executive coaching. So I work with individuals on particular coaching issues they have in their own business, and team training and development. So I deliver team training, I deliver individual leadership training, and I deliver coaching to individuals and to executives. So anybody who wants to talk, who has a problem that we can help overcome, that's why I'm here. And all of that
you don't teach you don't teach English anymore?
No, I'm doing some of that. Because I've been working with a variety of companies over the last few years. And what I've actually found is with leadership training, so I'm working with a French company at the moment.
Okay.
And I am teaching them English, but I'm actually doing a lot of leadership problems. So high performance teams. So we've just been working on delivering presentations in English, for instance.
Okay. Yeah.
So if I'm going to teach English, I like to teach English in a business environment, because it's, English is the business language of the world. And there are lots of people out there that do struggle with their English.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's something that I enjoy doing, and I like helping people, but it's a great way of helping businesses where the level of English language isn't strong in their business, because you still have technical language that you need to use. And now that most companies have this global reach, we can do everything via the internet. It's important that they are able to be clear in the message that they're giving to people, and be that through a professional presentation environment, or be that through hosting people in their business. So I do a bit of that, and I work with a few interesting organizations on particular business problems, but in the English language, where it's not their first language. So yeah, so it's helping people, and the more people I can help, the happier it makes me. And I'm in a, that's where I'm in that position in my life at the moment, that I like to do things that I can do to help other people improve their life, improve their objectives, improve their business. And it's a nice thing to do. I get to speak to lots of people around the world, so it's fabulous.
Yeah, that's the power of LinkedIn. We can connect, and then we can discuss. And you do have a lot of service, and you also mentioned about you can have a goal setting checklist or something, so you can people to ask
So
for that.
if anybody's interested, I have got a little checklist I can send out to you, which goes through how to set goals. So if you go onto my website and contact me, it will send me an email, and I can send you a copy of this form out. And if you want to have a chat about it, of course, make an appointment and we can have a free chat. And if you'd like to attend one of the workshops, they are Monday and Tuesday at 1 p.m. Swiss time. So that's
it's only limited to Switzerland right now, or using online
no,
methods.
it's online.
You can't travel around, right?
Yeah. So these two programs are all delivered online. There's a Zoom. Once you log on and pay the money, you'll get an automatic link to the program, and it's Mondays and Tuesdays at 1 p.m. Swiss time, which is 12 o'clock GMT, which I guess is about 7 o'clock Hong Kong time. And because it's a webinar. Those two programs are webinars. Other stuff I either do via the web or face to face. So I travel to see clients, and I also have a mixture of doing this kind of thing as well. So
that's good. So do you have any other advice, to people, ultimate advice or anything as a conclusion?
I think the thing is, sometimes we can get so caught up in what's happening at the moment that you hear people saying be present, be in the present tense. Well, that's fine, and that's great to experience what's happening, but you need to really think about what it is you want to do going forward, and you have to set a mixture of short-term, medium-term, and long-term goals. And everybody's short-term goal is to get out of this situation healthy, in one piece, with our family intact and everybody around us intact. That has to be our overriding short-term goal. But what's going to happen in 3 months' time? Are you going to go back to work, to a job that actually you realize you don't really like your job? Are you going to get back into a routine and things are not going to change for you? Is there something in your life that you would really like to do, but you've no idea how to get there? Your long-term goal. And so now is an opportunity to do that. And I know there's so many people out there saying, "Oh, you must do all this stuff while you're furloughed," to use the correct term. No, you do stuff that you want to do, and you're judged by your own standards. But if you want to seriously think about, should I change, should I make a few alterations to what I'm doing, now's the time to do it. Because once you get back into a routine of all the stuff that you would normally do, all of a sudden that priority goes to the back burner again. So you're probably not, you're going to struggle then to start thinking about achieving the goals that you want to achieve in life. So do
I
things
think
that make do
yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. And as always, I think the long-term goal will be something related to your personal, maybe it's
yeah,
happy. Yeah, you want to
yeah,
contribute something and
yeah,
ultimately learn something. That's the everyone's is the same.
yeah, of course we are. And we all want to be happy. We want to be happy, successful, healthy. Okay,
Yeah,
perfect. Three goals that most of us like to work towards. But how do you actually make yourself happy? How do you actually make yourself successful?
yeah.
And what do you need to do to stay healthy? And all of a
Set goals
sudden,
now. Set goals
yeah, well,
today.
yeah, exactly. And all of a sudden, you go from this ideal situation to, oh my, what do I need to do today, tomorrow, next week in order to do that? And you can see even from the current coronavirus situation, life is short,
Yes, yes.
and um, we honestly don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. And if you want to prepare for what's going to happen in the next few months, I think it's just a sensible thing to do, to take a little bit of time and think about, and think about that. So that,
Yeah, yeah.
so that's it.
And
So anyway,
also, and
Nidia,
also,
yeah,
yeah, and also heard that some of the business videos, so they tell me that okay,
yes,
even though a rich person is maybe 80 years old or 90 years old, and then they still
yeah,
set their goal in 5 year, 10 years. So guys,
exactly, yeah,
no matter where are you today, just set goals now and listen to James, and then you
yeah.
will be benefit from, because you clearly understand what you want to do. And that's why we want to help you in these videos, and how to write on smart strategies, and how to keep your goals, to meet the goals. Okay, this is what we want to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the thing. If we can help people make themselves, help people fulfill their greatest wish, I think we've done a fantastic job.
Yeah,
And
you
that's
done
all
a
that
good job.
well, and that's all we can do. And there are lots of us out there that want to help people, but ultimately the help starts with you as an individual saying, I think I need some help. And if you don't do that, you're probably not going to change. So be positive, find somebody that can help you just start your journey. And I'm happy to do that. I'm here. Get on my website, to
Yeah.
LinkedIn, and let's have a chat. And let's see if we can't help you move towards a future state of a better you. I think that's
Yeah,
the
yeah. The world needs
that's the
more good
goal.
people like you, and then helping others.
Oh, I
So
think well, yeah.
that's great. That's why I said you're doing good things in 30 minutes, and then so that's what I want to do in December 2019. Exactly.
Yeah, I think those of us that are in a position to help should do what we can to help other people, and it doesn't have to be financial. It's things like just sitting and talking to people, and I think the world is a better place where people help others, and I think particularly at the moment, that's for me, it's really important that we do that. And okay, I might not be working a lot because most of my clients are tied up in what they're doing, but I have a roof over my head, I have a fridge full of food. So if I can spend my time supporting other people, that's what I'm going to do. So yeah,
Yeah,
there we go.
and the most important thing is like what you mentioned: sleep well, and then
Yeah,
stay healthy, stay safe, and
exactly.
hope everything is okay and all the best.
Yeah,
Any other
absolutely.
things to add?
No, I think that's the thing. Quite right. Sleep well, stay safe, be healthy. And those are the things for today. Of course, they are for today and the next few weeks. But you need to think, what am I going to do in September? What am I going to do next summer? Because all of us, very, very quickly, life will return to where it was. And by Christmas, you're going, oh, that coronavirus. Oh, yeah, what's that all about? And have you actually made any progress in mixing things up and changing things around? If you don't want to, perfect. Don't let
Yeah.
anybody tell you to change things. But if there's something there at the back that's saying I really should make some changes, now's the perfect time to do it.
Yeah, at least to
So yeah,
improve yourself. Okay. Yeah.
yeah,
Invest yourself.
exactly. Invest in yourself, exactly. And I think now's a good time to invest in yourself because
Yeah.
you'll be happy that you've done that in at some point in the future when you've achieved the sales director's position with the corner office at Rolex in Switzerland.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, cheers.
Yeah, cheers. So thank you
Thank you so
very
much.
much. Oh, it was my absolute pleasure. So yeah, good luck everybody.
Okay,
And,
thank
and I'll
you.
speak to you all soon. So
Okay,
awesome. Thank you.
bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.